Welcome back to It Resolves, where we play a new deck every single day. Today's deck is Endless Detour Control. What is going on, guys? And yes, we are back with another rotation-proof deck. This time, though, not one built by me, instead built by the amazing Covert Go Blue, who built a bant control list kind of built around things like Endless Detour. We're going to talk about this deck a little bit, but before we do, I just want to remind you, please make sure, if you are not already, that you subscribe to the channel. If you do, you're actually entered to win a free draft booster box of Dominaria United on September 16th. There are a couple other ways to enter. I encourage you, check out our website at resolvesmtg.com. There's an article there that you can kind of read through, get all the links, figure out how to do it all. But subscribing is a very free way to not only support the channel, but also enter this giveaway and then, of course, any other future giveaways. So we do encourage you to check that out. But let's talk about this deck, and first of all, let's make sure we thank Covert Go Blue for sharing this list over on Aether Hub. CGB, thank you so much, my man. I really do appreciate it. This deck is kind of sick. It does feature quite a heavy land count, with 27 in total, but I think for good reason, and we'll kind of talk through that. First and foremost, we do have Shigeki here, who's going to be able to hopefully bring back some lands for us as we go. So return it to its owner's hand, you reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, you can put a land card onto the battlefield tapped and the rest into your graveyard. To be able to activate this reliably, you obviously do need a semi-high land count. 27 lands works very well for that. It also gives us a lot of use of tech lands. So what I mean by that is we do get to play the Field of Ruin. We do get to play all 3, Soaring City, Boseiju, and Iganjo. And then, of course, we've got the Spara's Headquarters with quite a number of the tapped lands and some basics in there as well. But what's the deck actually trying to do? Well, obviously control the game. Pretty straightforward in that sense. We are trying to win based off of just controlling with tons of different stuff, including March of Otherworldly Light. We've got Fateful Absence. We've got some counter spells with Make Disappear as well as Dissipate. We do have Broker's Charm, which is going to allow us to deal with enchantments, potentially some creatures, but most importantly, it's able to draw us a couple of cards. We do have Endless Detour as well, which is a really good way, as I kind of mentioned previously, this is a really good card for the deck because it just slows the opponent down like crazy. You're able to throw this out and basically stop them from really getting anywhere for quite a while. And 3 mana really isn't that big of a cost for a card like this. Celestis is quite nice because, again, it ramps us, but of course it also gives us a little bit of looting and gain life, which is great. And then finally, we're kind of getting into some of the win conditions. I will say Memory Deluge is here just to help us kind of get to where we need to be in terms of spells, and then of course Farewell is a good catch-all. But the way we win the game is through the Wandering Emperor and, of course, Teferi here, which, first and foremost, Teferi, if we can emblem, untap all permanents you control during your opponent's untap step, and you draw a card for during each opponent's draw step. So the idea is if we can get to the point where we are untapping during the opponent's turn, we basically get to like soft lock them out of the game with things like the Endless Detour and stuff like that. So a very powerful ability there, of course. But the Wandering Emperor is truthfully how we win the game, which is just by spitting out tokens and attacking in. Pretty easy. We do have, of course, like I said, Shigeki that can attack in as well, but that's kind of it. It's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have a huge win con. That's kind of the whole thing. So we're hoping we can actually get there with this. I do imagine there's probably going to be a game or two where we just stall out, but we'll do the best we can and hopefully have some fun with it. So let's do it. Let's jump in, guys. Let's see how we do. And again, CGB, thank you so much, my man. I do appreciate you. Let's jump right in. All right, guys, and here we are for game number 1. This is definitely an easy keep. We've got the Headquarters that we can lead on, and then we actually have Make Disappear plus March as available spells later on, which I am perfectly happy with. Let's go ahead and throw this out. I'd love to hold on to the Seed of the Empire just in case, but we may not find that we need it, and we'll see what the opponent might be up to here. I think I will take the opportunity to counter it. Just to keep the stuff going here for us and not really have to worry about too much. And then here we've got the Endless Detour or the Broker's Charm. I'm leaning towards the Broker's Charm just to be able to draw a couple extra cards and get us to that 4th land. We do want the Wandering Emperor down, of course, at some point, so. Yeah, let's go ahead and draw. Perfect, and we did get our land. That's exactly what we wanted. We'll see what they do. Okay, cool. So this is fine. They get to throw a card into their hand here. That's cool. Put a couple cards into their graveyard. All right. So, I mean, I think we just kind of wait. I don't actually think we have to do anything yet. One of the nice things about this deck is it's basically an instant speed deck through and through. Aside from Farewell and maybe to Fairy, we're pretty well suited for dealing with whatever we need to. I think we just Wandering Emperor and then exile this. I think that just leaves us with nothing really to worry about. If they do have a way of dealing with the Wandering Emperor, they can. It doesn't really matter. Kaito. Okay, cool. That's honestly fine. I'm not really that worried about it. And they are gonna they're not gonna discard, excuse me. They don't have to. Cool. I'm just gonna plus up in the interest of saving the Wandering Emperor from having to lose it. I would like to plus up there. One thing that we can do is Endless Detour, our own spell. Which is actually not unreasonable in this scenario, but we'll see. Okay, they're gonna blitz. Sure. I guess we shouldn't let them attack, should we? That was actually a bit of a mistake, but that's fine. We'll let that hit, or we'll get that out of there. That's fine. Yeah, so if we hadn't let them attack, they wouldn't get the free draw. They would have had to discard, which would have been better, obviously, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and throw a little 2/2 out there. And we just pass. Again, we're not in a position where we need to rush. We do, of course, need to deal with Kaito at some point, but I'm not terribly concerned with it. I think the question is, do we do it now? And honestly, again, I think the answer is no. I think we just wait. They did scry at the bottom, which is a nice little piece of information here. Blood Tithe Harvester. Sure. That's fine. I'm not really worried about that, to be honest. That's totally fine. Okay, so they are going to create the Ninja. All right, so I will go ahead. Submit 0. Ooh, it only hits. Whoops, totally my mistake. All right, well then we'll just cancel. Do we want to Endless Detour? Forgot this doesn't hit Planeswalkers. No, I think we'll wait. We'll plus up. Submit 0. All right, so we actually do have the ability to take care of both of these with March and Endless Detour, so I think we just wait. I know it's kind of silly, but like we're not really in a huge rush. Again, this is a patience game, like 100%. We do want to make sure, okay, so again, we don't want them to attack first. Let's Endless Detour here. Which is just going to get rid of it completely. And then we can march on the Blood Tithe Harvester. Seems easy enough. Oh, they are going to counter. Okay, well in that case, we will still do this on the Blood Tithe Harvester. To deal with that at the very least. And that does just mean that they're not going to kill the Wandering Emperor outright, which is fine. This was definitely the less safe play. I think the safer play would have been just a Farewell last turn. But I kind of liked the upside of this, which is that we get to save that Farewell for whatever big play they may or may not have this turn. We'll see. Regardless of what happens, I think the idea of this deck is very frustrating, which is really funny to me. All right, so they are going to go for the Wandering Emperor. It's fine. And there's the Blood Tithe Harvester. Cool. All right, lots of lands for sure. Don't love that, but let's go ahead and do this. All artifacts, all creatures. Whoops. All graveyards. Yeah, just do this. Pretty straightforward play, honestly. We're just kind of making the, or forcing the issue on them. So they are going to go ahead and crack some of these, which makes sense. Might as well. If they don't crack the other one, it's a little worrisome because chances are, okay, I was going to say, chances are in that scenario, they probably have exactly what they want, which is not good, but looks like that is not the case. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to force this. They got rid of an Infernal Tutor here. They may have one more, but we do kind of need to get going on something. Maybe this was the bad play. I don't know. It very easily could have been. It looks like they probably have a removal spell. Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But I did feel like we kind of needed to, and truthfully, this would have killed the Wandering Emperor either way, so that's not actually that big of a deal. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna do it for one just to be safe, because honestly, it's always a weird way of... All right. So they're gonna counter. That's fine, because all of our Test of Talents, I believe, are now out of the deck anyway. Might be incorrect on that. No, we have one more. Okay, fair enough. All right, well, we're both in top deck mode. However, they do have a Hive of the Eye Tyrant and a Kaito and a 1/1 on the field. So chances are this is not gonna go our way. Which is very unfortunate, but just the reality of what's going on. And here's to hoping. Kaito. Okay. I mean, like, it's not really that good, is it? I think we just have to run it out as is. So the thing is, we could return the Farewell, which in this case would just kill the 1/1 and exile their graveyard if we wanted it to, but that's really not that helpful. Really nothing is super helpful at the moment. If they hadn't gotten rid of the Wandering Emperor, well, no, because it's non-legendary, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, not great. Definitely not great. And they are gonna pump this up. Probably just hit the Voltage Surge on this. I guess it doesn't really matter though. Sure. I mean, it deals 2, but it's not really... Sure. We're not gonna block. Gonna go ahead and warmly embrace 4 damage to the face and hope for the best off the top of our deck. Yeah. So this is the downside of I think running a 27 land deck, which is unfortunately we just have a lot of lands. Memory Deluge is nice. Let's go ahead and cast it here because we kind of just need to do something and hope they don't have a Test of Talents. Okay. All right. Semi-helpful, potentially. What is the best bet? We do kind of need to stop that, so it's probably this, and it might just be Fateful Absence. Yeah. I'm not sure, honestly. This is such a tricky place to be because Teferi sounds really good, but we know they're pretty removal heavy, and we know they also have a Hive of the Eye Tyrant. So it's like, is that super worth it? I don't know. We are going to get a Farewell off potentially here, though, which is great. So they did not attack with the Hive again. Okay. Maybe they've got a big play here. Guess not. All right, I'm going to go for this first because we can actually kill the artifact if they don't crack it. Or they may just counter this, expecting that it's a better thing to counter. I'm not going to exile graveyards because I think we want our graveyard here. With Shigeki, that was a bit of a mistake on my end to exile all the graveyards, but I was kind of assuming with Grixis that might have been a worry, but looks like that's not the case. Okay. Do we actually do anything here? Yeah, I think we throw Shigeki out. All right, man, tricky game, guys. And this is, I think, how you would expect most of these games to go. They are gonna go long. They're gonna be challenging. And unfortunately, we don't have a great finisher. I think we stall so hard for the most part, which does make this a bit trickier. Another land. Okay. Let's activate this. Field of Ruin is quite good. It's Overgrown Tomb. All right. Let's see. X equals 1, 2. So we could do it for 3. Let's get you. Let's get you. I think let's get you. This just gives us the most outs, I think. And of course, we just can Fateful Absence now the Hive if we need to, and then we have the backup Field of Ruin as well. Ooh, what a game, man. This has been such a tricky game. I mean, we've not stabilized, but we're kind of getting close. This is hard fought. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Very hard fought game. And they don't attack. Okay. So they don't feel comfortable, of course, doing that, which is great for us. That's also quite good. So I am going to go ahead and throw the Celestis out. This just means if they don't do anything, we get to Day Night them a little bit here and kind of get some activations out of this, which is great. I'm actually leaving up the Memory Deluge here more than anything else. And then if we need to Field of Ruin, we can. I'd rather not Field of Ruin until they activate this, just to waste the mana. All right, let's go ahead and Memory Deluge now. Hopefully they don't have another Test of Talents. They've used 2, I believe. 2's kind of a high number of Test of Talents in it. Not a high number, but I think an average number maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't have any other ones. We'll take the Seiju. Yeah. Do we want a Broker's Charm? I think maybe so, actually. We kind of just need to hit something. So I'm taking the opportunity to draw as much as we can. Excellent. Let's go ahead and Wandering Emperor. Is a little bit tricky because we are throwing ourselves into a position where we don't have untapped mana. So that is worth noting, but we kind of have to start taking over, at least in some capacity here. We're gonna Voltage Surge. Okay. So I'm assuming they probably have another one. Okay, Infernal Tutor also works. All right, so we do this, and what, we just pass? We could go ahead and do this, but I think we just wait. I think this is gonna come down to we deck ourselves. Yeah, I'll take the action. I don't love taking the action, but I'll take the action. Truthfully, Make Disappear is probably less than helpful at the moment. We do have a Dissipate though, which is great, so. I'll go ahead and Field of Ruin now. It's a way that they can't interact with it. They've now spent the mana, so this is perfect. And we will pull a land just because we want every opportunity to get a Planeswalker. Do we Dissipate? We have the answer for it technically, but I think I will Dissipate just so if we draw like a Wandering Emperor, they basically have very little they can do. We have 17 cards left. We have to deal 16 damage in a very few number of turns. The question is, I think, do we actually activate this or do we just Memory Deluge? I'm just gonna Memory Deluge. All right. Yeah. Sure. All right. Yeah. I don't know. Like, we're gonna lose, like, because we're decking ourselves. I think we're just gonna lose, but there's our Wandering Emperors that we've been looking for. All right, let's throw one out. Definitely throw this out. Definitely throw this out. I don't, sure. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't really think it matters that much, so I'm just gaining some life, really. Okay. I'm gonna decline. We can't. We have to maximize the potential for dealing damage here. So at this point, we need to give ourselves as many turns as possible. And I really hope this works. All right, decline. 100% gonna plus up here. Excellent. I guess we'll just throw this land out because I don't think we're gonna do anything else. And again, it doesn't really matter, I don't think. All right, let's attack. Like, we have the look, there is a world where this works. This is an insane game. This is unfortunately gonna be the only game we get to. And I'm really sad to say that, but this is hilarious. If we can manage a win, I will be so stoked. So stoked. And the opponent might, I mean, like maybe we got there. I don't know. We'll see. I don't wanna say too much yet. I'm just gonna keep plussing up because if they have an Infernal Grasp, I don't really care that much. If they have a burn spell, I want to make sure we're out of range. So I think that's actually more important at this point. Now the question becomes, do we want to do the Wandering Emperor just to throw it out and save ourselves a little bit? But I think, again, I'm just going to be safe. And it doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter how we do that. Okay. I mean, like, maybe. This is insane. Please try and kill it so I can dissipate whatever you do. That'd be great. So we let the first two hit. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we're gonna make them burn as much as we can here. We'll keep this one. I'm gonna plus up again. Let that one hit, so it's down to 1. We're just trying to burn all their spells at this point, guys. So like, I truthfully couldn't care less what they do. I'm just trying to burn as many of the cards in hand as they have. Because if they only had 1 removal spell left, we can dissipate it. So if we can survive the burn without the dissipate, that's so important. Okay, I'm gonna, oh crap, ooh, didn't mean to do that. Okay, that's fine. All right. I'm also just plussing up on the Teferi here because I don't really think it is gonna matter that much. All right. Guys, we need 1 more turn. Decline. We're back up to 20 life. This is the most insane game I think I have ever seen. This is ridiculous. I know I've said that before, but this is like, the deficit we were at was kind of insane. This is also the longest game ever. Not literally, but this is a pretty long standard game. CGB, your deck is hilarious. Even if we lose, your deck is hilarious. I absolutely love this. We've got 8 cards left. And they are at 3. Guys, did we do it? Oh man. Come on. Come on, opponent. Be done. Be done, be done, be done. Come on. I thought we were dead, guys. Like 100%. I thought we were dead. I think... Guys, I think we might have done it. I think they're mad. I think they're really upset. CGV, this is for you, man. I know you've watched our channel before, and I really appreciate that. Can I just tell you how much John and I were talking behind the scenes when we saw that you popped into a live stream one time? We were so stoked. We were like, oh crap, CGV is here. We were so stoked. So thank you for checking out the channel. It's a absolute pleasure and an honor to have other content creators watching and hanging out with us, especially on live stream. I know John takes the brunt of the live stream stuff, obviously, so kudos to him for being awesome. I think we did it. I think they're pissed off and they just left. Oh no, I'm enjoying this too much. Okay. Right. Timeout. Come on. Let's go. Guys, I think we did it. I hope everybody has enjoyed this game. This was amazing. I question whether I can mark this as undefeated if we do win, because it was only one game. Like, technically, yeah, it was undefeated. But also, I should explain the methodology behind the undefeated. If I record a video and it doesn't lose in the video, it's an undefeated run in my mind. The only reason I'm okay with marking it that way is because I do not cut games from the recording, as in I record, you know, 3 straight games, usually 2 to 3 straight games, in this case 1, and whatever happens happens. I think the last couple videos I've lost like all of the games, and you know, if that happens, I'm not gonna cheat the system. I understand a lot of people probably don't believe that, but truth be told, I don't really care, because we freaking won. What was that? Wow. Okay, let's talk this through. All right. Wow. I still can't believe that. Let's first and foremost thank CGB, of course. Again, thank you so much for sharing this list. Man, you built this list to piss people off, and I think it worked. The win condition is just so minute in the sense that it feels like just the Wandering Emperor, and that's it, is the only real way to win. In terms of dealing damage. Now, of course, decking and things like that is also a piece of that, but regardless, man, that was hilarious. Incredible game, truthfully. I did not think we were going to win. I really did think we had lost, but the tools are there, man. You can dig out whatever you need to dig out. Between the charms, the memory deluges, the draw off of basically everything, I don't know, I just feel like it's not that difficult to find your way to the pieces that you need. And with Shigeki, you're able to bring them back. So it just feels right. I feel like this was a really great, solid build, and it's rotation proof. So I'm curious to see after rotation if a deck like this either takes off or gets some pieces that makes it even better. I will say the lack of win condition with maybe just the Wandering Emperor is so tricky for me to get my head wrapped around, but it worked, and it was super well done. So thank you, CGB. Thank you to all of you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Sorry it was only one game, but it was a long game and a very, very good one. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you all very much. Have a fantastic day. I'll see you again very soon.